Hey everybody, I'm the Grey Doughnut and welcome to Paragon. Really quickly before we get into this build, I want to let my Battleborn subscribers know that I will not stop doing Battleborn content just because I'm doing Paragon content. Just trying to mix it up a little bit. I did a little bit of Overwatch, wasn't that big of a fan of doing content for that, but I have done Paragon content in the past before Battleborn and before Overwatch, and I had some builds that I wasn't very proud of, so I removed most of them. I think there's like one build for Rampage on there right now, but I wanted to redo them, and I figured it'd be the best place to start with a new character because I am a view whore and he's new, so he'll get more views. God, I'm pathetic. Anyway, what we're doing today is we're going to look at Greystone's abilities. If you don't know what Paragon is, there's a video on my channel saying that I went free to play on PS4. It kind of gives you an overview of the game, just if you want to check it out. So, for those of you that do play Paragon, I'm going to give you a build for Greystone. It's pretty much, I'm going to say 90% identical to my Feng Mao build, because Feng Mao and Greystone both use Fury and Order cards, and they both have the same skill set. That's not the right word. They both play similarly. Greystone is awesome, though, because when he dies, his ultimate, you have to get to level 5 before this can happen. His ultimate will actually, he'll die, and then he will be resurrected within 3 seconds. He'll fly down from the sky, and he will land, and wherever he lands, or wherever you died, he'll come down after 3 seconds and land, and if there's enemies inside of an AoE around you, they will get stunned, and they'll take damage. Actually, you know what? I'm not exactly sure if that is a stun. Don't quote me on that, but you will do AoE damage and maybe a slow. I can't exactly remember. It might, if I just hover over this. Oh my god, there it is. So you'll knock up and deal 200 damage. You don't stun them, you knock them up. I don't know why I'm too stupid to fucking remember that I can hover over this and it tells me. But you will knock up enemies. I didn't want to say stun, but I knew it fucking did something to make them stop doing stuff. So that's how he's kind of different in my sense from Feng Mao. I'm just kind of comparing him to Feng Mao right now. Feng Mao has longer reach on his basic attack, so keep that in mind. Feng Mao has a slow. What you're gonna get with Greystone that's not like Feng Mao is a the res that we just talked about. He's gonna be a little bit tankier. It's kind of weird though. He's not like any other characters. He has the ability Stoic. It's a circle and it's a passive. Greystone has an additional 11 physical armor and 100 health. These amounts increase with each level of this ability. So it's kind of weird because right at the start, you're going to be a weak little fuckboy. You're going to have like 400 health, which is less than some ADCs. I think all of them. It's less than like everybody. So if you want to get your health to a normal level, you have to upgrade Stoic first. Not that big of a deal because once you upgrade Stoic once or twice, you'll be right on par with DPS. And for the majority of the game, or for the first part of the game anyway, early game, you're going to want to be in the jungle getting minion kills and leveling up that way. Also pushing lanes if you're safe enough, but you really will have so low health. You'll start off with a little bit of physical armor, and it upgrades every time you use pick Stoic. So at the end of the game, you will have about 86 physical armor built up, not using any cards. And it's decently helpful, but I normally will take a little bit extra physical armor, but we'll talk about that later. So going through the skills, we've talked about the Reforge, we talked about Stoic. Square is his sort of AoE lane clear. Greystone summons a fiery whirlwind that... Why am I reading that so weird? I'm going to restart that. Greystone summons a fiery whirlwind that deals a total of 40 physical damage in an area around him over the course of 5 seconds. That's pretty weak. 40 damage over 5 seconds is really not a good number at all. But towards the late game, when you have some lifesteal, which this build is going to have some of that, it's going to have just enough to keep us alive. It's going to be very helpful when it hits minions and hits enemy characters as well, because it's going to get you that much more life back onto you. So it makes you pretty tanky if you spec this with lifesteal, which I suggest you do. There's obviously other builds, but we're going to go with the lifesteal in this one. So it's kind of just an AoE circle around you, lasts for 5 seconds, does 40 damage, and that scales up as you level it up as well. Assault the Gates is your R1. Greystone leaps as far as 1,000 units, dealing 40 physical damage in a small AoE when he lands. So that's decent. The thing is, I thought, getting into this character, I thought Assault the Gates was going to be much longer. 1,000 units sounds a lot farther than it is, but Feng Mao's teleport is just about maybe slightly shorter than this. This has a little bit more utility because you can jump over walls. You can actually do that with Feng Mao, but it seems like he can jump a little higher. Greystone can. Don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure, but Fang Mao has a teleport. If you've used that teleport, it's just about as far as Assault the Gates. And R2 is his Noble Strike, does physical damage of 40 with each hit. So that's pretty much it. He's got the big 3 active skills we're going to be using is Make Way, Assault the Gates, and Reforged. Actually, the only actives we're going to be using are Make Way and Assault the Gates. Stoic and Reforged are going to be passives. So it's actually pretty easy to master this character and not like actually level him up. I'm actually talking about skill, learning him. It's actually really easy in my opinion. But you know, some people might have trouble with that. So you have pretty much a dive, and then you have a lane clear, and you have your primary attack. That's really all you have to figure out, and then your passives will just kind of come to you naturally. You'll learn how to use them as you go on, but make sure you know how to use your dive, your primary melee, and your lane clear. So pretty much all I want to talk about on the abilities. Let's check out his skins. I decided I want to check these out because they're cool. He's actually got a really good look to him. He's kind of a handsome prince hero. I mean, exactly what you'd expect. Shield and sword. And we have Challenger Greystone, which I actually really like, and I'm just super excited to buy this because, I mean, get to the master level or whatever it's called, the Challenger level, so I can get the Challenger skin. But it looks freaking cool. It looks like Dragonbone, and for some reason it reminds me of Skyrim and Final Fantasy 14 mixed. That might sound weird to some people. That might sound spot on to some people, but that's exactly what I fucking see. Dragonbone armor and Final Fantasy 14 Dragoon armor. That's the epitome. I think it looks so fucking cool. And then we have Dragon Lord Greystone, which is 500. That's what you get when you purchase. You can purchase the character in a bundle. That's like his purchasable skin, his alternate. It's pretty damn cool. I really like it. It's got like green, scaly look. Anyway, you guys don't give a shit about this. Let's go ahead and check out the deck I have built for him. I called it Gabriel. I don't know why. I was thinking like Gabriel, but it just doesn't make sense. I like to make these kind of interesting and funny, but I'm going to be changing it to, his name's Greystone, so I'm going to just change it to Grey Doughnut. And I didn't think of that until like 5 games in. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So Grey Doughnut is what we're going to call him, this deck anyway. So if we go check out the deck, it's pretty straightforward. Most beginners should be able to get something similar to this. Keep in mind, with all my builds, Battleborn or Paragon, I don't think you guys should follow them to a T. I think you should try it exactly maybe once or twice, and then I think you guys should change it, tweak it, get different cards that fit your playstyle better. Don't just follow what I think. I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy who sits in front of a fucking microphone and talks about the build. Yes, I have knowledge of the game. Yes, I think I'm good at it, but I mean, really, figure out your own thing that is working for you. Figure out your playstyle and figure out the deck that fits it the most. So the first thing I like to pick is Brawler's Key, because at the beginning of the game, I think it's very important to jungle with him. Even if somebody else is hogging the jungle, try and get in a couple camps. Even making sure you get your harvesters up is very important. So you'll have Brawler's Key will give you 2 harvester keys, and it'll take 3 seconds to get your harvesters up. If you have a good jungler who's already got the middle ones up, go ahead and get the ones on the left side and the right side. It's not like you have to sprint from side to side just to do that. But while you're there, throw it down. Brawler's Key is always good. And then I'm going with 3 2-cost strikes just to get us started. So after, so we'll use our first 3 points to get Brawler's Key, and then we'll pretty much jungle and do all that shit until we have 6 points. That's about when we're out of mana and out of health. And once we have 6 points, we'll go back to base and get the Brawler's Key. And after that, we're going to be taking the Windcarver Blade. I love Windcarver Blade, and I fucking love attack speed. The attack speed is going to be helpful. You're also going to get a little bit of attack damage. It's going to help create more chaos in the middle of fights. You'll be slicing faster. People will getting shit flying up on their screen. You know how it looks sometimes, the particle effects. That's going to be helpful with getting lifesteal as well. You want to be able to hit them as many times as possible with as much damage as possible. So we're picking up some attack speed here for that. And going, this is our second card, so we'll go back to back, first, second, and then 3 2-cost kinetic cards as your upgrades for this. Once you get it fully upgraded, you'll get extra physical damage and extra attack speed. Sadly, once you upgrade Brawler's Key all the way, you only get plus 7.6 physical damage. That's because in turn, it gives you Harvester's Key instead of a slight buff in another area. So what's happening right now is we're probably around level, I don't know, let's say 7 or 8. We have a couple stacks of Stoic, so our health is about normal for any kind of DPS. I'd say about even with Fang Mao at this point, if you're going to do it as I show you in the video. After this, we're going to want to take Amulet of the Veteran as our third card. This is basically just going to get us a buff in health, but we're most attack speed. I would not suggest going higher than that. Maybe a little bit. It depends on your playstyle, obviously. So just get 3 2-cost upgrades in there, and then we'll get Amulet of the Veteran. And once this is fully upgraded, we'll get 300. We'll have 300 health total extra from this card. Veteran. After this, we're going to take a long, hard look. Well, not maybe long. We're going to take a very good look at what our team is, our enemy is running. So if they have a lot of physical damage dealers, you're going to want to go and head and get Tempered Plate. Why? Because when you put Guard into your Tempered Plate, it's going to reduce the amount of damage only physical damage dealers do to you. But if you spec it to the point where, let's say you put 3 2-cost guards into this Tempered Plate, okay, and the enemy team has 4 physical damage dealers, you're going to mitigate about 75% of the damage they do. That's a rough estimate, but that's about what I'm thinking just off a guess. So it's going to be like they're shooting BB gun pellets at you if they are all specking physical damage. The one counter they can do to this is by getting physical penetration. And when they use physical penetration, it's going to be able to penetrate through your guard and do normal amounts of damage. They have to have just as much physical penetration as you do physical guard, though, or they will still be not doing anything. So if they have a team full of 5 physical damage dealers and none of them get physical penetration, and you have just 3 2-cost guard upgrades, they're not going to do shit to you. Especially with your lifesteal, you're never going to die. That's why team comp is very important. You want to have it like 2 energy and 3 physical, or at least 1 attack damage carry doing physical damage, and then 1 attack damage carry doing energy damage. It's very important because you can be countered very, very hard by a good tank / fighter who knows how to counter your damage style. A lot of people don't know that. Well, I would say probably 20% of people know effectively how to look at an enemy team's comp and see what kind of damage they're doing and then counter it. This is going to be very massively helpful in doing that. Learning that is very helpful. So one thing I want to point out is I do have a lot of health in here. That's just in case I feel like having health is going to be more important than guard. One of those situations would be if they had, let's say they have 3 energy damage dealers, okay, and 2 physical damage dealers. The 2 physical damage dealers, they have 1 ADC and maybe 1 tank. The tank's not going to do much damage regardless, so we don't have to worry about that. But the 3 ADCs that are doing energy damage, we have, let's say, what's his name? Murdoch, a Gideon, and a, who else is there? Decker. Okay, so Decker and Gideon aren't going to do much damage to you whatsoever at all. So you don't really have to worry about mitigating the damage that they're going to be doing to you. The only one you're scared of is Murdoch. So if Murdoch has energy damage, and that's really your only big threat, you're going to want to go with Tuned Barrier. Because this is going to this is going to negate energy damage that they can do to you. It's going to negate it much, much, much more effectively than just getting max health would. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm not here to explain it 100%. If you guys don't understand the concept of barriers and guard by now, then you're gonna have to Google it yourself, because it does take a long time to describe if you need it. So basically what I'm getting at, I might have just rambled for way too long. We're going Brawler's Key, Windcarver Blade, Amulet of the Veteran, and depending whether they have a lot of physical damage or energy damage, we're going to be taking Tempered Plate or Tuned Barrier. I don't suggest taking them both, or you're going to be severely lacking on attack power. Or if you would rather take one of these rather than Lifesteal, that's an option. If you want to take 2 of these and no lifesteal, I would say that's an option. But I would strongly suggest countering what kind of damage they have the most and then getting lifesteal, and you'll be able to dominate whoever has that type of damage. So they have 4 physical damage dealers, go with Tempered Plate. They have 4 energy damage dealers, go with Tuned Barrier. Does that make sense? Okay, I feel like it doesn't, but I want you guys to know this is kind of advanced shit here. I didn't learn it for a long time either. So basically, you're going to want to pick one of the other. So you'll wonder why we have like 69 points worth of cards in here. Well, you're only going to be taking one of these. Okay? So after we've taken that, the 5th thing we're going to want to do is go for Touch of Thieves. The reason I'm taking Touch of Thieves is because I have no good lifesteal cards. After playing this game for as long as I have, I still don't have a great lifesteal card for somebody who's running attack speed and attack damage. So that's why I'm going with this. It's easy. It gives me a decent amount of health, and it gives me a lot of life steal to make my life a little easier. You can just get this. It's like a one card thing, but basically you're looking for life steal that fits the build. The cards I just don't have. This is the best one that I have. And after that, so we have, I'm going to run through it again because I know I'm being confusing as shit. We're going Brawler's Key to get our keys for unlocking Harvesters, going Windcarver Blade to get attack speed, Amulet of the Veteran to pick up a little bit of health and a little bit of damage. And then we're picking either Tempered Plate or Tuned Barrier, depending on what kind of damage they're doing. And then after that, we're going to pick up Lifesteal. At this point, we are really, really hard to kill, especially if they have 4 physical damage and we pick Tempered Plate, or if they have 4 energy damage and we pick Tuned Barrier. Okay? And right now, we are just going for Rust Breaker as our last card. This is going to add a lot of damage, and if you see on the other team that another enemy has a lot of physical armor, which we would, maybe they use Tempered Plate to get the physical guard, then we are going to want to take Rust Breaker. We're taking Rust Breaker regardless, but if they have a lot of guard on the other team, pick the 2 major pierces and the one strike at a level 2, because that'll equal 60. So the level 2 strike cost 2 strike plus the 2 major pierces are going to make you overpowered against somebody who has a lot of guard, because you're going to pierce through the guard because you have pierce. That makes sense? If they don't have any guard whatsoever, no guard upgrades at all, then you're going to want to go straight up damage. Go major strike, and then normal strike. 3-3-2 on this. So I hope this made sense, guys. I know it's confusing as shit. Just rewatch it. I promise you'll get it sooner or later. I know I rambled for a while, and I'm going to go over it one more time because this is sort of a beginner's type of thing. So, Brawler's Key, Windcarver Blade, Amulet of the Veteran, either Tempered Plate or Tuned Barrier. Then we're going for Lifesteal plus Health. You might have a different card for that. This is the card that I'm using. And then we're going Rust Breaker to add damage and piercing. If we need the piercing, we're going to go for the piercing. If not, we're just going to go straight up damage. This deck equals a perfect 60. That is why there is a cost 2 strike in this instead of a cost 3 strike. And I hope this was helpful for you guys. What's going to happen now is this is some Twitch footage of me playing as Greystone. It's not going to have vocals on it. I figured because these videos were so fucking long, because the games are so long and it's hard to describe some builds like this was, then it's just going to be way too much talking, and I'm just going to run out of shit to say. It's not going to be witty. It's not going to be helpful. I'm just going to start spatting shit. So it's going to be Twitch footage. It might be rendered a slight bit lower than this has been, so keep that in mind. And also, it's going to be no vocals. I'm not going to be talking at all. No, you should hear no sound except for the game sound. So if you don't want to see how it works in game, then you already have the build. You know how this build works. Go try it out for yourself. That's what I suggest you do. If you want to see how I played it, then go ahead and watch the Twitch footage that's coming up right after this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate everything you guys do for me, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.
is under attack. enemy tower is under attack. enemy has been slain. Enemy has been slain.